A portion of today's show is brought to you by the Fortress of Solitude, a new musical produced at the Dallas Theater Center. Well, we have a special treat for you right now. A world premiere musical with a Broadway cast is taking center stage at the Wiley Theater in Dallas through April 6th. It's a story about two teenagers obsessed with superheroes. The setting is Brooklyn in the 1970s. Let's take a look at the Fortress of Solitude.
Every time I wake up and I'm holding you, every time that you make me feel the way you do. Oh, she won't see me no more.
So good. We want to welcome Kevin and Andre, two very talented stars of the show who are here in Dallas. Welcome, gentlemen. It's such a treat to meet you.
It's good to be here. Good morning.
You're quite the talented singer.
You know, I give all credit to the wig. His name is Poindexter, and he kind of runs the show.
Does that wig kind of put you in the mood a little bit? It really
does. All you have to do is see it, and you just transformation.
So for our viewers who aren't familiar with the show, what is Fortress of Solitude about?
Fortress of Solitude is about finding that place in the world where you can be your own genius.
Yeah. And now, this is a world premiere musical, and it's had several workshops. Kind of talk to me about going from the rehearsals to actually putting on the world premiere of the show and choosing to do it here in Dallas.
Well, we got to go back how many years? Back to
7.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the inception of this is 7 years old. I've been on board since, I think, since 2010. So it's taken on a lot of different forms and a lot of different shapes. This is a co-production between Dallas Theater Center and the Public Theater in New York.
The New York Public Theater, yes.
And a lot of times to do a show of this size and this scale, it's a very different type of musical. It's not a very traditional musical. You want to have a place this warm and welcoming and creative to incubate and really figure out the nuts and bolts of the direction you want to go.
And I love that you said you want to have a place that's warm and welcoming. I'm hoping that you're referencing Dallas and that.
The Big D,
yes.
Absolutely.
Have y'all enjoyed being Dallas? Y'all are in New York. Have y'all enjoyed Dallas?
Yes, we're having a great time, not only in the theater, but at the stockyards in Fort Worth.
In Fort Worth. Now, y'all play a father-son duo in the movie. Talk to me about this the dynamic duo that
First of all, we're not in the movie.
I mean, in the musical.
It's live.
What I meant to
it's
say.
important to know.
8 times a week.
It's important to know that Fortress of Solitude is live.
I haven't had enough coffee yet this morning. In the musical. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, I am the patriarch of 3 generations of men who have incredibly dysfunctional behavior. I'm the senior, this is the junior, and the young star is the grandson. I am, or I should say I play, the galvanizing character in the play, Senior. When Senior arrives, nothing is as it was before. This is the talent in the family.
The talent in the family.
I play a lost genius R&B singer who, through the course of this story, the band falls apart. He takes his young son and sort of holds himself up in Brooklyn and avoids all of the spotlight. And at some point in this story, is now responsible for trying to raise this young child, even though his parenting skills are, questionable, and also providing a home for his father as well.
Now, this sounds like you talk about, kind of the 3 generations of this musical. What age is this musical appropriate for? Is this appropriate for families?
Absolutely. It's all of our audiences so far that have responded very well are intergenerational, right? And they are ethnically diverse, and everyone finds his own Fortress of Solitude during the course of the play, because the music is the metaphor. And the music touches a button in everyone's heart. And your personal story unfolds as we are telling the story of the Fortress of Solitude. The music is to die for and to live for.
I love that. Now, y'all mentioned this is a production of the New York Public Theater. So when this wraps on April 6th here in Dallas, what's going to happen to this musical?
The musical will come back to New York in the fall.
Okay.
We are not entirely sure of the fall schedule as yet, but it will come back. I think we start rehearsal end of August and we'll run through into November. And it's an exciting thing for New York as well. This is the first time in a long time that New York has a story of its own, particularly told in music. So in terms of the music, it starts in the 60s in an R&B doo-wop group, and then graduates to the 70s, and that 70s funk soul sound, and then into the early 80s and the beginning of hip-hop, and R&B even into the early 90s. So it has a huge span in terms of the content of sound. And
that's probably why the audience has been so excited about this, and we've been so excited to have this here in Dallas. And we want to thank you guys for joining us this morning, and good luck to you.
Our pleasure. Come see the show.
I will try, yes.
Okay.
Again, The Fortress of Solitude, which is produced by the Dallas Theater Center, runs through April 6th at the Wiley Theater at the AT&T Performing Arts Center here in Dallas. Tickets are only $15. That's where they start at, and they're available by going to dallastheatercenter.org. We've got